Happy Tuesday, Mark.
Happy Tuesday, Suzie.
Yes, thank you. It's a very exciting Tuesday.
It is. We sent an email out, didn't we?
We did.
What was it about?
It was vague, and there's more to come.
Excitingly vague.
Yes, excitingly vague. I think the headline we used in the graphic was unified. Easy is in there. Yeah. So very exciting news. It's something that retailers have been asking for.
But that's it.
Yeah, that's it.
And to learn more, there's a button in that email where you can sign up to be on the list to learn about these things sooner than the general public, right? Like a day or two ahead of time?
Yes, we will let you in on the information at least a couple days before all the rest of the people. Yeah, so look forward to that in September. Anyway, Mark, you added some excellent notes to today.
Well, thank you. I thought they were relevant because we are often talking about marketing and we talk about content and good content and this and that. So if you don't listen to every single episode, which I'm sure most people do, you might come in the middle and it seems jumbled. And sometimes it's easy. And I talk to a lot of people in a given month about marketing and using their SmartEtailing website more effectively. Easy to get ahead of yourself. So I just thought it'd be fun to just put some bullet points in and say, you don't have to do everything all at once. And you definitely don't want to go to the sharp end of the stick before you take care of the basics. So let's talk about those steps. And the number one step, I think, is you're trying to market a retail business is have a commerce-enabled website in place and get it dialed.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's a really great step. Have a shopping cart enabled website showing at least your up-to-date in-store inventory. I think that's a great place to start.
Yep. And that way shoppers can shop. And that becomes not just a shopping tool, but it's the primary way that search engines know what you do is to have a really good website presence. So that's the number one thing. Once you have that, you got to actively maintain it. And being a bike geek, I always align this with bikes. You've got to keep air in the tires and lube on the chain, and the bolts have to be tightened. Websites are no different. They work better when they're accurately maintained and actively maintained. So do that. And with the SmartEtailing website, of course, it's a self-serve platform. The help center is full of all the information you need to know how to do that stuff. The client success team's here to help you and train you and teach your staff how to do those things. And if you don't want to do it yourself, but you recognize the importance, then the marketing agency's got all sorts of programs where they can take some of that work off your plate and you can delegate it to them.
Yeah, absolutely. I wish I knew about that. Or, well, I guess we didn't quite have those programs in place when I was sort of managing our SmartEtailing website, the shop I worked at.
There were different programs in place, but they weren't, they've evolved. They were awesome at the time and they've gotten better. And that step about active maintenance, that's where, we do talk about content a lot. That's where that comes in a lot. So using library content, writing your own content, using our premium content. If you don't have the subject matter on your website that your customers care about, it's unrealistic to think you're going to win those organic searches. It just doesn't work that way.
I think that's a good point, too. I think I'm going to say the dreaded acronym SEO. And I think you kind of really hit the nail on the head with it. If it's what's relevant to your customers and what serves your business, that's good SEO.
Yep, so it's got to be on the site.
Yep.
It's no different than if somebody walks into your bike shop looking to buy a car, they're not going to find a car for sale. So you got to have the thing there to sell if you want to rank for it and search and all that stuff.
So sell them a good e-bike? Is that what you're saying?
Yes. They don't need a car anymore.
No.
Next, you got to help your customer. You don't gotta. If you want your customers' attention, you should probably help them shop the way they want to shop. And these days, more and more, that's on a mobile device. So your website needs to be mobile friendly. It needs to have the products available if you can, not just what you have in stock, but what's available to you. So they have a broader selection to choose from, and they need to be able to buy it when and how they want. So if they want to shop on a phone, it needs to be easy checkout. There should be lots of options for paying for things and getting through the checkout system and making that as easy as possible. I think the next big thing is you do all these things. You need to stay top of mind to those customers who've already shopped with you.
Yeah.
They are the most likely folks to spend money with you in your store, the people that already did. So, how do you do that? Well, we've got lots of tools for that. The primary one is the automated email campaigns based on purchases. Everybody that buys a bike gets these emails over the next year. So make sure you're talking to them because they have options. Your customers have other options. If you're top of mind, you'll be the first, or at least in the batch of the first options they think of when they think bicycles.
Yeah, and those tools, it's not always about so directly selling, but it's really, it's a customer service tool. They bought oftentimes like a high dollar purchase from you. You're going to help them maintain it and kind of help them get the most out of it.
Yep. I think the easiest way to think of it is, I think everybody would want to talk to, a few times a year, talk to everybody that shopped in their store. That's just physically impossible. For most businesses, this automated campaign is an excellent way to make sure your business is talking to your customers in a friendly way without you physically having to remember to do those things.
Yeah, exactly.
Promotional emails are also important. I think that's still biggest bang for the buck. I don't know if you would agree, but I think email marketing is still one of the biggest bangs for the buck in marketing. Would you agree?
Yeah, I think it's one of the most effective tools to kind of get the word out. Mark's talked about updating your website, keeping things fresh, seasonally relevant, your, maybe merchandising, your kind of your in-store inventory, that up-to-date, your POS feed, things like that. Don't rely on people just kind of like stumbling upon them. Promote the things you want them to see.
Yeah, I think that's important. And then there's some functionality that is beyond that Google provides for free. They have a free shopping program. Your SmartEtailing website will generate a compliant file for that. So you don't have to do anything to build the file except check some boxes, or I guess there's little toggle switches in the website. There's some setup to be done. We've got instructions on where to go do that setup, or as with everything, you can pay us to handle it and we'll knock it out and do that. But once that stuff's in place, then you don't have a lot of control over where Google puts those free ads, but they're out there. So it seems silly not to participate in that.
Yeah, definitely. It's been exciting to see more and more independent bicycle retailers set those up, and you see their free listings next to REI, and you're, I think just getting in front of more shoppers.
Yep, absolutely. And then next step would be allocate some budget for paid ads. So if you want control over where those ads show up, you want to decide which products show up in those ads, that's what paid ads are for. Again, we help about 100 merchants a month deal with those ads and manage those campaigns. So we can help with that. Whatever, when you get to that step, that's a logical next step. Those ads are very effective. It's probably the best way to go find new consumers for your business. And we highly encourage that. And budgets can be, a little or a lot, but that's the great step. And I think as we get to the end of those little bullet points, they're in the notes. So if you want to review those and kind of pull them apart when you've got time, do so. Reach out if you have questions. But I think one of the things I wanted to make clear is, only because I had a call about that this morning, I want to do paid ads. Great. I think that's a great idea. Here's what we should do first. Your website's a mess.
Yes. If
you haven't sent an email or talked to your customers in years. I think I'm happy you want to do that. I want to enable you to do that. We do that work and we like to do it and we make money doing it. But I think there's some basic blocks we can put in place that will help the business at a base level that's important. But also, we don't want to pay Google for results and send them to poor websites. That's a bad experience, and that doesn't work out well for your Google Ads budget. So that's my pitch there. Those bullet points will be in the notes. Let me or Suzie or our client success team know if you have questions about that. We're always happy to talk.
Yeah, that was excellent. And I think just last week, the NBDA hosted a webinar it was their kind of recap of their specialty bicycle retailer study. And they had some excellent experts on there. Ryan, our president, Ryan was on there to answer some questions, and it really lines up a lot with a lot that you kind of put together for today. It's really encouraging retailers to use technology and e-commerce to boost their business. I thought there was an interesting study around people who do have a e-commerce enabled website, and majority of them don't see their website as a like primary or as a selling tool, or that's not the main purpose of it. But selling online or encouraging sales may not always look the way we think it's going to look when someone says the words e-commerce. And you said like kind of meeting your customers where they're at and offering flexible ways to shop. A lot of times it's checking your inventory online and then coming to your store to make that purchase. So I think they did a really good job of kind of promoting that. I thought this was an interesting, I just kind of grabbed this quote. It was from one of the presenters. See your website as another salesperson. Makes the cost seem much more affordable. Part of your sales force. Website needs to be as current and up to date as your salespeople. What do you need to move? What's new? One. And what's most profitable? Yeah, I like that a lot. Like it's another knowledge source. You rely on your staff to have all the answers to point people towards what's new, what's exciting, what they love to ride. Maybe it's a new bike. Your website should be able to do the same.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah. I think one thing I get out of that is your website isn't a single thing. In this presenter's example, it's another salesperson. I often talk about it being another location. It's if you're a single location store, not really. You're a 2-location store. That other location's your website, and most often people will meet that location, that salesperson, that resource before they actually step through the door. So I love that. I hadn't really ever thought of it that way. Your website should be as up to date and current as your salespeople. That's just brilliant.
Yeah, I love that. Well, check out that webinar. We will have the link. They did upload it to their YouTube channel, so check it out.
Yeah, cool. And that leaves us with a quick tip, a tech tip, which I actually thought of before the other stuff. It probably prompted the other notes, and it's a real simple one. We won't take a lot of time. It's probably not really that technical, but on your SmartEtailing website, you can have multiple payment methods in place. We certainly always recommend that the first payment method in place for your customers is WePay as a traditional payment gateway. It's the most known and comfortable way for people to check out with a credit card. But if you have a PayPal business account, connect it, get it added to it. There's no cost to it with the site. You just click the button to start the connection process and add it. If you're in the U.S., there's also a financing option within PayPal. And then also Klarna. Klarna is one of the most popular short, I don't know what they call it. It's, 4pays, or it's not long-term financing. It's the quickest way to break something down into a few quick payments. It's the most well-known one on the planet. All of those things play well together. You don't have to choose. So put them all on. Because if I'm checking out and I'm making a $1,200 purchase, and really all I want to do is I want 4 $300 payments. Klarna, done. I'm out. I can do it online, apply, get approved, finish the process. Mm-hmm. If I want the longer financing, typically depends on your PayPal account, but there's options there. If I just want to pay and get out with a credit card, I got those options. There's no reason not to offer more options. I guess could be a reason that 3 different ways money is coming into your business is 3 different things to account for, but that seems to me a small price to pay for picking up some sales you might not otherwise get. A lot of people, cyclists in particular, I know I typically do. I have some money in my PayPal account, from different things. I want to spend that money. Mm-hmm. Let people spend that money if they have it.
Yes.
I think that's the message. Let people spend their money.
Yes.
With you.
I love it. With you. Yes. I think that is a really good, kind of sums up our mission in general.
Yeah. Let people spend their money.
Yeah. Wow. This was an action-packed. I do have just one quick question for Mark before we wrap this up.
Okay.
You're heading to Alabama soon.
Okay.
Are there any snacks? Is there any food you're really excited about?
I miss a lot of things food related from where I'm from in the South. I'm
in the
dying,
South.
dying, dying to go to New Orleans. We haven't been in a couple of years. Probably won't make it, but I think there's a couple things. There is a distinct lack of greasy spoon type restaurants here in Colorado. So I'm looking forward to getting into one of those, having a nice hand patty chopped steak sort of thing with some onions and mushrooms on it. A meat and three kind of place. You know, you get a meat and three vegetables. Those are some of my favorites. And probably
Oh,
some barbecue.
is mac and cheese considered a vegetable?
Oh, it's definitely one of the three. Mac and
Okay.
cheese is it's one of the things you like most about the South is that there is mac and cheese everywhere.
I could go on a mac and cheese tour. That sounds fantastic.
You could.
Ooh,
And
that sounds fun.
it's very serious too.
Okay.
There are families that split up over disagreements about mac and cheese, so they take it very seriously there.
Okay, well, I would.
In most big Southern families, if you are the person that brings the macaroni, you've earned that status.
Oh.
You are something special in your family if you're the one everybody waits around to bring mac and cheese.
Wow. Well, I will say I participated in one of our casserole cook-offs as a company, and I did make mac and cheese, and I earned at least an honorable mention. It was a sriracha baked mac and cheese.
Oh, I don't remember that.
Now I'm offended.
Yeah.
Well, I'm
sad
excited.
I don't remember eating sriracha mac and cheese. That sounds delicious.
I'll make you some. It'll be great.
Can you make me some before next Tuesday?
I'll see what I can do.
All right, I'll see you next Tuesday.
We'll see you then.